Aloha. Welcome to the Walking in Aloha, Let's Talk Story podcast. We're so glad to have you here. At Como Mai. Now here's our podcast host and award-winning author, Michelle.
Aloha, everyone, and welcome to the Walking in Aloha Let's Talk Story podcast and day 7 of our 90-day Jumpstart to 2026. This is day 7, and I am late again. I have so much going on. Today is UPW. If you don't know what UPW is, it is Unleash the Power Within. Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within. So I was on that and I didn't realize the time because we were in the middle of an activity, which is writing down a list of all your empowering words and your disempowering words. And anyway, today is day 7 and it's not Sunday, but on the 7th day, God rested, right? So we're talking about rest and in Aloha, it's health and healing. And I get so busy, but I forget to rest sometimes. But today's theme, health, healing, and awareness. Rest is not laziness. It's leadership for your soul. The National Society of Leadership and Success. Hey, that's what this is, NSLS. I was listening to a interview that they were doing on one last night, and it was just incredible, how things don't always look the way that it should. And sometimes when you're doing something and you think that leadership is supposed to look a certain way, your success is supposed to look a certain way. When you're trying to accomplish something, we always have a certain frame of mind of how it's supposed to look. And we believe that, oh, it's supposed to look a certain way. Well, sometimes it doesn't look like that. But you have to trust the process. You have to trust the process that God knows God's ways are higher than our ways, and we need to trust the process. So anyway, that was off a little tangent because I just noticed that I was using this shirt. And anyway, leadership for your soul, and we need to rest. So after 6 days of showing up, speaking life, and moving forward, today we pause to restore and rest. I know, like I said, it's not Sunday, but it was 7 days since we started this 90-day Jumpstart to 2026. So I wanted to come on and talk about rest. Healing happens in the stillness. Growth happens in reflection. And awareness deepens when we quiet the noise long enough to hear God's whisper. If you haven't been following me, I am working on 2 anthologies. And an anthology is a collection of stories. And I wrote my book, Walking in Aloha, 5 Steps to Living Your God Potential Life. Well, my story is one story. And it may resonate with one person, but it may not resonate with another. And so I have decided, and it's my goal, to publish a book every year since writing that one. So I have Walking in Aloha, and then I have 31 Steps to Mastery, which was published last year. This year, I decided that I wanted to help others publish and become published authors. So in my book, I am going to publish other people's stories. And so when I put their book out there, I am going to publish their book, and it's going to be published by Blessed to Be a Blessing Worldwide Publishing. And their stories are going to be in my book, Voices of Aloha. Because like I said, my story may resonate with one person, but not another, but everyone has a story. And so was having a hard time, like, well, I don't want to say having a hard time. The stories weren't coming forward quick enough in my thought to fill the pages of these books. And I have this thought that I wanted to get it out before the year's end because, like I said, I publish a book every year. And I said, okay, I'm going to reach out to some people and see if they want to put their story in. And I'm going to trust God that stories that come forward is going to be the stories that is needed. And how God showed up, how God showed up. I had 2 calls today on people putting their books in. I mean, putting their stories in the books. And both of them, Daughters of the King. So one is for women, one is for men. Voices of Aloha, Daughters of the King, and Voices of Aloha, Mighty Men of God. Both people who came on today with me and had a sit down Zoom call with. Why? God is moving. God is moving. And I cannot believe. Well, I can. I just always say I cannot believe, but I trust God and He is amazing. I always am so in awe of the way He moves and the things that He does. And I know, and I know, and I know, and I know that this is going to come to pass. Voices of Aloha will be published and the awareness deepens, like I just read. The awareness deepens when we quiet the noise long enough to hear God's whisper. When I was stressing about filling the pages, He just whispered and said, here are the people to reach out to. And so I did. Who reach back and say yes are the ones that are supposed to be in there. The ones who don't, then that's not the ones. That's just how it goes. And I'm like, simple as that. So good. God is so good. And like when my friend and I were talking, God will use the smallest bits that you can give him. Every willing bit that you can give him, he will use, and he will turn that into greatness. So amazing, right? So good. Anyway, I've shown up for a full week, 7 days of faith, action, and alignment. Now it's time for you to pour back into yourself. And in Matthew 11:26, it says, come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. So the affirmation today is, I honor my need for rest, reflection, and renewal. Healing flows through me as I align my heart with God's peace. So your action step for today is to rest, step outside, breathe more deeply, drink more water, and journal some things that you're grateful for from this week, from the 7 days that you have gained during this time. End your day with prayer, thanking God for the strength and the growth and the grace that He has given you. So you are proving to yourself that consistency is possible and transformation is already in motion. Take this moment and rest in your progress, because next week we will rise again and we will start another week. We are moving along so nicely, and I am so happy to have you guys on this journey with me for the 90 days. That's Zor again. He does that every time. I know. I always mention him in the videos, and I think he knows that. So it's like his part of being on my Zooms and my podcasts without being on my Zoom and podcast. One day I should have him truly on and say, come on, you want to come on, you have to be interviewed. Wouldn't that be lovely? Anyway, we have to get ready for work. And that's why, until tomorrow, which is day 8 of the 90, um, I still haven't had a chance to work on the um the automatic, because I want to be able to put some posts in just like without me coming on live. Okay, so I know that I came on live for the first 7 days, and if I can continue, I'm going to continue. But I know that I'm going to be traveling in November, and I know that there's going to be some activities that I'm going to be doing. And like, I think 17, 18, I have some things. Can I still make it at 11 o'clock between the 11 o'clock hour? Like I said, it may not be 11 o'clock at 11, but within the 11 o'clock hour, I will come in. Can I still do it? That's a possibility. Now, if I can't, can I drop an auto somewhere within the 11 o'clock hour? I would love to do that. So I have to figure it out because I want to be consistent. And because this consistency is the key, right? So anyway, until tomorrow. And I'm thankful for the grace that you guys give me while I work everything out, and you guys can learn along with me because, like I said, if you wait until everything is perfect, until everything is just right in line before you start something, you will never start. So just do it. Just do it. Just take action and do it because it's in the action, right? In the motion. That's where everything starts. So until tomorrow, God's blessings always, and a hui ho. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Thank you for joining us here on the Walking in Aloha, Let's Talk Story podcast. Before leaving, please hit that subscribe button. God's blessings always and a hui ho.